The alleged 9/11 mastermind, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, and 4 other terror suspects are back in court, or they were yesterday, at the U.S. Military Detention Center at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. The process to hold someone legally accountable for the atrocity 20 years ago has been bogged down by procedural delays, and yesterday's pretrial hearing was no exception. Our senior investigative correspondent, Catherine Herridge, is covering this story for us, and she joins us now live from Guantanamo Bay. So, Catherine, what happened yesterday? Describe the scene to us in the courtroom.
Well, Anne-Marie, I was sitting in the gallery of the high-security courthouse. There's this reinforced glass that separates us from the 5 defendants. I was about 15 yards from Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the self-described architect of the attack. I've seen him in court before, but this time he appeared much older to me, thinner. He had a long gray beard that was tinted an orangey red on the sides. As the lead defendant, he sits closest to the military judge, and then the other 4 defendants are at defense tables behind him. And as they got settled yesterday, it had this bizarre atmosphere of a long-awaited reunion. The men were talking energetically to each other and gesturing, at times smiling, and you must always remind yourself as you witness this unfold inside the courtroom that all of them face war crimes in this case. Conspiracy to hijack aircraft, conspiracy to commit acts of terrorism, and of course the intentional murder of civilians, in this case, nearly 3,000 Americans, Anne-Marie.
So yesterday's hearing was the first in more than a year and a half, but it was cut short. For what reason was it cut short, and why have there been so many delays? I mean, I understand that obviously the pandemic may have played a role, but why is this taking so long?
Well, in many respects, the military commissions are in uncharted territory. They've never handled, they're sort of untested, if you will, with a death penalty case where you have 5 defendants who are being tried as a group and not as individuals. The reason the hearing got stalled out yesterday was over, in the simplest terms, a procedural error, a procedural issue with the current judge, who's at least the 4th judge to be assigned to the case. And then in the middle of the hearing, an order came in from a separate court, and that order affects the preservation of evidence in this case. So you have multiple courts weighing in on what's happening here at Guantanamo Bay, and then you have these legal obstacles on top of all of that, Anne-Marie.
So there are 9/11 families in the courtroom. I can't imagine the frustration of coming down to Cuba for this, dealing with this delay, watching the men, as you described, sort of chit-chat, sort of in the face of this grave undertaking that's supposed to be happening. You know, how are they handling this?
Well, I've been inside the courtroom many times, and the way it's set up in the gallery is that the reporters are on one side and then the families are on the other. And in previous hearings, I've seen some of the 9/11 families sitting there, some of them weeping, holding photos of their family member who was killed on that day. Yesterday, I saw 3 family members, and I've seen this before. They come right up to the reinforced glass so that they can lay eyes on the men for themselves. In this case, they just sat there silently, and I don't even know how to describe it. Sometimes it feels just so raw, the emotion and the sadness, but then also the strength of these families as well. The rules in the court do not allow us to engage with the family members, so I can't tell you more about what they were thinking or feeling or why they did what they did yesterday, but I've seen it many, many times before, and it's very sobering to witness, Anne-Marie.
And, you know, not only are they there now 20 years later, but there's all this sort of legal question marks, I guess, hanging over this. Is there a fear
Correct.
that the case against these men will fail or will be diminished because they were allegedly, some critics say tortured, while in CIA custody. Could that render some of this evidence inadmissible?
The short answer is absolutely. The main legal block in this case is the men's detention before they arrived here at Guantanamo Bay in 2006. After 9/11, they were captured and held in CIA secret prisons where they used interrogation tactics like waterboarding, sleep deprivation, physical abuse that critics call torture. The defense, to this day, does not have access to a lot of that evidence. They want to keep it out of the case, but they also want to keep out of the case the FBI's interviews with the men once they arrived here in Guantanamo Bay. They argue that that process, too, was tainted by the CIA secret prisons and the interrogations. If all of that happens and none of that evidence gets in, which I think is unlikely, you're left with a document or a paper case, bank records, phone records, electronic intercepts. But remember, we've seen these men in court before where they have taken, some of them at least, sort of pride and ownership for 9/11. And that certainly, with some of the evidence, I believe would go a long way with a military jury, Anne-Marie.
Catherine, thank you very much. So, of course, we are marking 20 years since 9/11. CBSN is going to have a special live coverage marking the 20 years since that terrorist attack. You can stream that Saturday starting at 8:30 a.m. Eastern right here on CBSN.